That's impressive. More mistakes. Thanks for the 4 months with Prime. Thank you for returning every month. Hope you continue to make more mistakes like that. Hello, Bazmaniac. Let's see what we can do in this TT here. Most important is to get off to a good start. You know, it's weird. These glasses, they're like performance enhancement, obviously. But sometimes they just get like foggy or like it's like something on them and feels like the opposite. They're actually not enhancing the performance. They're making it more difficult because they just like need to be cleaned or I just can't see. There's definitely been some time scrambles where I've just not been able to like see properly and I just don't have time to fix them until like next game. Ooh. Usually I like these positions. Just kind of like throw the H pawn up there. Bishop on H3 tends to do pretty well. Could throw this in. We could also just fully leave it and go here, here, etc. I think we're going to do that. Is this a threat? Bishop e6. Take, queen takes, king here, knight g5. Queen e8 or e7, forced. Knight takes e6. King g8, forced. But I don't know what happens after that. Sadly. Yeah. I don't know, maybe maybe we can take on g7, trade everything, play e6 at the end. But what's the material there? I'm going to get 3 pawns. I'm going to lose the bishops. I'm definitely going to lose that e6 pawn as well. Yeah. It's not going to be good enough. I only get the exchange. This guy's a joker, man. Just like no respect on this tactic at all. Okay. This guy can't be for real now. Now that the knight's hanging, I'll have queen takes c6 minimum, but like, no way. Now it's like the exact same variation, but he just undefended his knight, so there's no way this is playable. Queen check here looks definitely pretty good. Yeah, I think this will win. Give this check. Give this check. e6. We're going to win the rook or the rook. Yeah, check. Takes here. And we have bishop e5 and bishop takes rook, so he's probably just going to take it, and yeah, we should be fine here. Question is, maybe do we do this? Yeah, I'd rather not have the rook on the b file, maybe. So he's got knight a4. It's probably the only challenging move left to deal with. Also, this knight is going there. Oh, he's giving me every single move. Now I'm fine because I have rook e2 to defend the b pawn, so it should be okay. Let's try this one. It's not possible. Or if you're this guy, it is possible. I have rook e2. Nice and okay, but this game is over. This guy can't be for real. There's no way. There's no way. These idiots always learn eventually. Guy's playing on like, who do you think you are, my friend? I have more stamina than you. I'll be here all day executing that checkmate. Chespinage, thanks for the 50 months. Left on Elm, thanks for the 37. We had enough pieces for the redacted as well. A real shame. Could have got the redacted in there. Thanks, Theo, 53 months. Yeah, we continued the YouTube series. Someone was asking me about that yesterday. It's being continued. We're back. Is that a quote from you, Chess Ninja, or is that the headline? We'll see what we can do. You'd love to see one on Dirty Habits. Go, Theo. Thanks for the 54 months there, Mr. Chess Ninja. Oh, I love to see this. Great energy here. Great energy. The resignation. They always learn eventually, don't they? Great stuff. This always runs into b3, but I think here we want to push this pawn. Uh, Interesting. Hmm. I feel like we definitely want to play this. Definitely want to put a knight on b6, and okay, our pawn will always be safe with a4 there. So feels like we kind of dealt with the queen side pretty decently here. He's always going to have to defend this. Yeah, so now he's starting play over here. We could play h5, but I'd rather now commit just h6. So he's going to go here, then he's going to move the knight, and he's going to play f4, f5. So what am I doing in the meantime? Like I can go here, here, try to take that. I can push this pawn, but it's only going to get to a3 really. Like it's not really dangerous. So I don't know how I'm dealing with that plan, honestly. I think I am going to play this. The thing is, once he gets h5, I can't really play g6. And if I can't play g6, I can't really stop f5. So maybe that's playing a little bit scared, because I definitely think that knight here was a better move. But okay, queen here, I'm going to take the knight. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not great, but it is what it is. He's going to be able to play this and move the bishop. Honestly, he's probably going to bring the bishop here. That's quite nasty. That hurts. Nothing we can really do about it either. Yeah, definitely this move is about to happen. I think we need to get this in. The bishop, as I said, is going to make it to c5. Quite literally nothing I can do about that. Maybe this. I don't think there's a check to be had. Although here does work because then my knight's hanging. So I have to be careful. I guess this one. I think surprisingly, I mean, I don't think I want to play f5, but I think I will. Okay, but is this so bad? Get to use the G file maybe? Queen here is a threat. Yeah, tougher than we thought. To play this nasty looking move. Okay, I definitely did not see that. I mean, we just had to thump a move out there. Definitely good practical decision there by him. Probably not even just practical, just good decision, period. Move this if rook e1. My king is surprisingly safe now. I think we switch with rook g8 or rook h8. You might want to play that. Loses the b pawn though. Oh my goodness, the queen is there. Holy, that's such a choke. That's so annoying. I definitely had the full comeback there. Oh my god. What an insane choke by this guy. That's crazy. Crazy. Rook e6 was a fantastic move. Like, great decision overall. Great practical decision. That was a killer move. But I'm not going to lie. I think I did a great job getting here. Did fantastic. I just didn't realize that he actually covered that. I was only thinking like, yeah, it's pinned, we just take it. Because I almost took it here. So I completely missed it. But I had made a comeback here. This is, I mean, we're definitely lost. Just look at the position. Everything's covered. But I had made a serious comeback, so completely ruined it with this. Oh my god. Crazy. I almost never make these type of comebacks on the board, so that's pretty rare. Yeah, the problem with the knight on b7 chess ninja, even if I got it there, which I definitely can't, because you just look at the path, it's just impossible. But even if I got it there, I wouldn't be happy because his bishop's still on the diagonal. It doesn't need to exist on those squares for it to be good. If it's on the diagonal, my knight's on b7, my knight's just not a participant in the game. So I would lose, yeah, I would lose just based on the placement of the knight. Maybe instead of f6, I should have played f5. I didn't realize, I actually wanted the open g file here, but I misunderstood. So here I probably should have played this, which at least if he would take, he would have to take right away. I don't know if that makes a difference. Probably it doesn't. But I noticed that when I did this, he was able to leave the tension and then do it later. So here I probably should have played f5, but honestly, with the bishop getting here, it's so bad for me. Yeah, interesting. b4. It's a kind of resourceful move. Maybe I should have taken with the rook in hindsight. Just more piece trades. Queen f5, queen d7, b7. Yeah, I'll take it. It's definitely a move, but I don't see the mate. The rook checks me. Maybe I go back to c8. Doesn't look that bad. I think white had already messed up quite a bit by then because I should have been mated or heavy material losses. So I was already doing a lot better than I deserved. Obviously, we'll bring the bishop back. We can castle. I don't usually like to play knight here because where does my knight go after e4? So I'm always trying to keep that square available. Knight here, queen takes. There is knight b5, and I hit the d pawn without allowing queen c7. So I think I can play this maybe. But c4, knight c3 is truthfully what we want to do because c4 comes with that threat of c5. So you either go for c4, knight c3 here, or you go knight a3, knight c4. Kind of two, I guess, two main patterns. I'll try this. But yeah, this one looked tempting as well. c4, knight c3. c4 is usually a nice move. If they take, you have this pawn you can take. Yeah, okay, yeah, he takes here. It actually makes a lot of sense because this is with check. I did not actually really consider that, so I might have to take here. Definitely can't take like this. Queen takes to hit this pawn, obviously runs into that. I think I have to take here, which is, let's say, mildly annoying, but not that annoying. It would be more annoying if he could play queen e7 here, right? And hit my bishop, and then I can't castle. That would be frustrating. But I think I'm going to be able to get castled safely here. And queen takes here. There's no knight b5 because queen takes b5 now. But I don't need knight b5. This pawn is just hanging, so I can just go like that. Goes b5. I think I have to take this. I think we want to castle. Queen takes doesn't make sense. Knight c4. Could be knight takes. Okay, but this is fine for me. We'll definitely castle here. Yeah, I'm okay with this. If pawn takes, by the way, I think my opponent was a little concerned of some kind of knight b5 move. c4 threatens c5, so it's definitely not crazy, but to be honest, I think I want to maintain the integrity of the pawn structure. Black's probably going to push the pawn up the board like that. I think I'm going to start with this. Very useful move. I'm definitely thinking of c4, though. Knight g5, bishop d5, then maybe c4. Queen d7. I really want a knight on e3, so maybe knight d2 to go Knight c4 somehow. c5, there's always bishop b5. I assume that he'll want to move this bishop here. Wow, okay, could never have predicted that. He's got knight e4 coming. Knight on c5 definitely looks tempting, to say the least. I want to start by repositioning this knight, though. It's the worst piece on the board now because it's going absolutely nowhere. Maybe knight b4, d3. Also, e3 looks like a decent square. Bishop there. So knight b3 is certainly possible now. Also, knight e3 hits the bishop, which is just great, of course. I'm going to start with this one, though. I still have knight e3. And if knight e4, I'm thinking f3. Weakens the dark squares, but gets me what I want, which is knight there. So, can we do it? I think so. We can also start with this, but I don't think that's in our favor. Unfortunately, knight e3 was a bit too annoying. I know we were definitely better there, but couldn't find the move that I needed. At least we defend this. Could be worse. We have this nice move if we just need one. I'm going to take that instead of taking on a7. Can't trade it. Maybe can sneak around. Close. Yeah, we definitely had the advantage here. I think I was pushing really nicely. I just kept not finding the right moves. Here, knight b4 is a fantastic move, but I just wasn't thinking in the right area. Bishop f1 is a bit too soft. And then here, like, we took for basically no reason other than just like panic. Like, I just needed a move and needed another like half second to think, but that's just my own putting myself in a bad spot. Because we can just play b3, exactly what I did, but we can do it without the rooks traded, because then he has knight e3, which is a massive problem. So at least bishop g1 holds this, and we could kind of like keep breathing here. And then now I was obviously back in it. I probably could have taken here, but I didn't want to like. I could just see the pressure develop. At least this position was easier to play, so yeah, he definitely should have taken this, but and then here it's just whatever. Obviously, f4 g5 quickly because now I have bishop against the knight, so I want to put the pawns on dark squares if I can, set myself up for a good endgame. And then this was just a very big blunder. Hello, Red Drum. Jimbly, thanks for the 37 months. This has to be a very easy draw because black can also exchange queens when it, like, take it. Yeah, there you go. Okay, we're playing Terry. I think recently I've scored a win or two against him, so definitely broke the seal, so to speak, because I definitely find him to be a super tough opponent. Oh, yeah, I was like trying to remember what line he plays against me. Now I remember it's this line. So against him in particular, the move h3 is, okay, let's say not like the most well placed. I think it's knight e5, bishop e7 is what normally happens. But there's also knight d5 and f6. Can't remember which one gets played. Okay, so he'll go a6 or a5. I'm not sure which. A6 makes more sense objectively, I would say. Let's get the bishop out of there. I might play this, but I'd be surprised not to see knight e4. Okay, so he's definitely going to go for this plan of e5. I think that's pretty obvious here. I guess we'll try to put our knight on c3. I think take with the queen. I don't know if that's actually correct, but I feel this knight will perform much better on c3. This move is definitely waiting to happen. So queen g5 here, knight f6 here. There's knight h5. We might have to take that. I'm going to get some counterplay over here. I don't know if it's going to be sufficient. Taking looks fine. I do have a problem here. But it's nice that, okay, worst comes to worst, I can always shut things down with that move. Okay, e5. He might go here. I'm about to play bishop f1, and then once this is protected, I feel a little bit better about my position because I can just move my bishop, for example. So I think bishop f1 is the way to go. He has knight here. I'll have to step back. Knight here is covered. Definitely threatening to take now, I think, now that this mate is protected. And by the way, I also have d5. Probably d5 is just a very good move just to kill this. So honestly, I probably should be playing that d5 and just like close things up. But I don't know. This bishop f1 feels kind of okay. Knight e4 we're obviously taking. Now I'll definitely play d5. Or at least now I'm okay with it. Queen f4 also to hit this pawn looks a little bit tough to defend, maybe. Yeah, I think we got to take that. Takes and maybe d5. No, got to take that. c5 maybe. This move is about to happen. Yeah, we need to stop this. Ah, this was a bit of a soft move. I should have done that last turn. Would have had a nice bit of pressure there. I should have just doubled rooks there. That was so bad. we're very lost here. Position's way too easy to play, unfortunately. Just didn't handle the time scramble as well as him at all. I was barely getting moves off here. It was a bit. Everything's just like kind of equal. It's just about who plays the time scramble better, and we just didn't. Like, I was constantly like playing like I never had time to think to formulate a plan. I was constantly like just playing the next available move to me. So I never formulated any plans probably like after this moment. Played like b4, b5, and then I had nothing going on. Like black's kind of like slowly improving, like h6 made a threat, bishop g5. So it's not like we were playing poorly, but you know, rook here and rook here is like a plan. If I have like half a second to think, like that actually makes a lot of sense. But I could just never think, and this happened, rook d8. Now I'm like gonna lose this pawn. Rook c1. I never had time to formulate a plan. And yeah, once the king comes in, like we're pretty lost here. I don't think there's anything we can do. I have to take it. Yeah, it just sucks. And it might look close, but it's just close from here on out. It's not actually close. Like we're playing moves. I'm playing on so he can blunder maybe like a big time blunder, but he didn't even make anything close to a mistake. My king's cut off. Yeah, it's been game over for a while. But it was dead even, and we really had chances way back here. But like I said, he just played the time scramble infinitely better. He seemed to just have control, whereas I was like struggling to gain control over my position. We definitely, I think, had a good opening here. I was very satisfied with this. Here, I knew I wasn't finding like the right moves. So what I said, I played this, but I just didn't spot, like, I should be maybe activating my bishop. I should be playing this with queen b3 check. That's a huge move I missed. I think c5 is extremely good here. Because later, like, I noticed it as soon as I played rook e1 because I just played it quick. Then I was like, c5. So I played it now, but it definitely wasn't as good. And I have a big advantage here, but b5 gives it all away. Because that pawn is just weak. Like, honestly, I could even take that pawn. So, huge mistake by me. Threw away a good position. But mostly here, I just kind of got outplayed. He played time scramble way better than me. Hey, Cluxton. Happy Tuesday to you. It's okay. It's not the worst loss. We definitely had a great opening. We were much better in the middle game. But he definitely outplayed us in like the late middle game and then into the end game. Just didn't make a mistake, so can't really come back from that. I know. Not a good look, Sleazy. We should be doing better. The standards should be higher. To please, thanks for the 22 months with Prime. Hello, hello to you. Yeah, BSV, but you can't think of it like that, right? Obviously, my opponents are also playing moves that are geared towards the fact that I have low time as well. So sometimes if you see me with an advantage, it's like, well, yeah, because to be honest, I would play a slightly worse position if my opponent had to play the whole game on like 2 or 3 seconds. So can't really like have that be the reality and then also say like, well, I'm better every game. Now, believe me, I'll definitely complain that way, but obviously my opponents are playing against me in a certain way. King Caesar, King Cesare. I do look a little different. Yep, something to get used to. All right, this guy's got the what is it? Moscow Wizards, um, PCL flair. No, people playing moves like this, you already know you're dealing with certified sweat. This is way too serious. Huh? Sweaty for sure. I think we dealt with that pretty well. I don't know that I'm that upset with this position, for example. I feel like knight here, we want to play g6. One thing that I've always found with these positions is you never want to let knight h5 happen because you can never kick it out. And it's just an annoying piece, really bothersome. So I try to avoid knight h5 wherever possible. Okay, here I'll do h5 just now that I've got this square under control. I think he's just going to go back, g3, h3, king g2, g4. So we kind of have a, I would say, pretty good idea of what to expect from the opponent here. '91. Okay, going to d3, obviously. Sometimes g5 is a decent move. Looking at queen c6, guess the knight can move away. I think I'll still do it. I mean, yeah, this is an idea. Kind of a basic tactic there. But it feels like we're very solid here. I'm kind of aiming for a queen trade as well. If rook d3 kind of takes that square away from his knight. And in the meantime, maybe like long castle. g5 I still think is a good move. Okay, he goes knight d3, so he's kind of allowing this, which means his reaction to this has got to be like knight takes d5. But that doesn't even make sense. Okay. But we just take. I mean, I have knight d4 as well. Knight d4 looks very good. I know it opens the rook, but knight d4, queen somewhere, and literally just knight back. Where's his knight going to go? Knight here? Queen c6? I don't believe it. And takes is check, so that shouldn't be anything. Also, queen here, knight c4. Those squares are off limits. I think he could honestly be in like more trouble than he thinks. Queen e1, knight c2, queen c3. Yeah, he's definitely gonna go for that. This is the safe move here. This move's honestly probably just too risky. But it's probably good. I should have castled long there, that's for sure. I was gonna play here. Then I saw rook takes. Then I was going to play here, and I had to change it again. But I guess changing two of your intended moves is too much. That's always annoying. Flagging those games. I really think I made the right choice. Knight c2 is definitely the right call out. Queen c4 here. The only problem was I kept thinking like, okay, I got to castle to safety. But castling here, honestly, I think the game ends. This is just game over move. Yeah, he played terribly. It was an annoying loss to a pretty weak player. He's got 4 points now. Fuck. He didn't play that well, which means I just let the flag happen. But to be honest, I couldn't have played that. Losing that pawn is resignation. So I was hovering like the wrong moves. I didn't expect this. Probably I should have. I mean, rook d7 is a fine move by him. But for some reason, I was hovering rook d8. Then I had to undo that. And then I was like, well, let me make a random move. But this random move got me mated. So by the time I switched to like just a move, I was already flagging. Yeah, but he played pretty badly. Like, okay, he's just dead lost here. I should castle. It's a sad miss. Yeah, but this is even fine. Here, obviously, we're blundering more pawns. So I'm playing like terrible moves compared to the ideal ones. Castling's not great. Rook here's not great. But even after all this, we're completely winning. Knight c1 was a nice move, though, by him. And I barely got this move off. Nah. Thanks for the 56 Endraderu with Prime. Yeah, I mean, that's that's the type of thing that'll just make a Title Tuesday feel like a waste. He played pretty terribly as well. Go, Ben. Losing the last game is so annoying. This happens every Title Tuesday. Just losing to one guy who's like pretty low rated, then all of a sudden you end up in the Title Tuesday slums. So now we're really fighting for our lives down here. Probably should have taken and then played c4. Would have been a slightly better move order, I think. Should definitely have just taken, but... How serious of a threat is that? I want to play f5 here, but could f6 really be played in response? I think so. Uh... Hopefully this works. I think I've calculated everything, but this is where I'm going to find out that I haven't. Because rook e6, I have queen d8 mate. I think that works, question mark. I mean, it worked in the sense that this line worked. Obviously, he could take it like this, which is what I was expecting. And then we just get to regular position. But, I mean, this also gives him big opportunity to blunder, and he did do it. I can't be upset. These positions are supposed to be a little bit better for white. just because my two knights have fantastic squares, and I don't know, like black's knights go here and here, just like mine, but I have two new squares, and then maybe two new squares after that I can jump to, whereas the future for black's knights looks a little grim, and it feels like I'm a little bit ahead, so I'm kind of creating the threats. But yeah, I probably should have taken and then gone c4. Okay, it worked out to be the same, but this is definitely worse. That's a mistake by me. This position I'm pretty happy with. Once the queen gets to f3 in this structure, I'm usually pretty happy. Now, initially I was thinking of this. Engine says king f8 and white's in trouble. I didn't consider this, mainly because I assumed I had a draw regardless, but the engine is suggesting king e8. I definitely did not remotely consider this. You never assume that king into the center with the queens on the board like this is what you want, but because obviously I played this knowing full well that f6 was a threat, but my intention was rook takes d5, and like, okay, it can't go in the corner, obviously. And I assumed, okay, if it goes here, like I'll minimum have a draw. But cold-blooded engine says king e8. Hans is 6 out of 6 this event so far. Bortnick looks like he's losing, but don't count him out. Oh, a4 hurts. a4 hurts. This guy's also playing for... Yeah, this guy's also playing for first place, I think, in the event. Yeah, the A pawn should win it, though. Damn. 6 out of 6 for that lad. Nose knows all. You want another tied for second title Tuesday. It's a little early. Nose knows all for you to be asking for Christmas presents like that. We'll see what we can do. At 67 months, you're definitely allowed to put in the request. Yeah, into the suggestion box. This is one of the easiest draws to make because you literally don't ever move your rook. And if they ever offer you a trade, you can always take it. So... White should be in trouble here. You're going to get walked down the board. Yeah, this is pretty done. Oh my goodness. Was there rook f2 there? I guess rook f2, you can go there. You're fine. All right. Oh man, this is a terrible pairing. I say this every time. Giving me the like, you know, skills still intact, understanding and level still there. GMs who are just a little bit slow. Those are not good pairings for me. You gotta stop doing that. Like these guys, this isn't who I'm looking to battle. All I'm going to do is get a losing position, and I'm supposed to be up on time, but that's not going to happen. Not a fan. Not a fan of these pairings. I need to do something about this immediately. Interesting. C4. If I'm taking the pawns taking back, which at the moment I'm not a huge fan of, gotta go here most likely. Moving the knight is nice because it makes a threat, but maybe knight here is possible. But h5 is just always there. Knight takes e3, bishop e3. Going here just loses control of so many squares. Tough decision. Can't say I'm thrilled with it. Okay. Bishop here, we gotta move the rook. Probably should have gone there for safety. This is like mildly annoying. Okay, rook e8 and bishop f8 will definitely improve my quality of life a little bit. Yeah, that's definitely a good move. Let's play c6. I think I have to. And we can get back to f8 to cover this, which is what I meant by quality of life. Had he, for example, done that like a move earlier, then I'm not sure I would have been able to handle it that well. Let's go here. I mean, he can't take it. I might need to go defend it like this. If I play b5 and then c5, I think we could be getting somewhere. Like c5 here kind of looks right, but the problem is I just can't use that square. It's so annoying. I'm actually going to take this way if he takes. Because I can't use the d file, but I can use the c file, and I can go rook c4. So this could be very stupid. You know what I should have done? Instead of trading a pair of rooks, I should have just left the rook there and gone b4. This was a mistake. This was a mistake. Such a bad move. Okay. I needed a move there. Okay, now I'm gaining control of the position again. I don't know how this is the position of all of them that we get the flag, but as I told you at the beginning of the game, it's the only way I'm going to win. What did I say? Get slightly worse position, be outplayed most of the game. I'm not going to have a time advantage either. So just have to survive every single point of the game and then finally get to the... Okay, so this was definitely a bad move, but I should play b4 now. So it actually carries like some weight. I don't know. In the end, it kind of worked out fine. f4 was not a good move, but definitely a good practical move. Very annoying move to deal with. And here I was totally fine, queen d4. But this is an awful move. I feel like he should have taken. Here, I was just like throwing moves out. Needed to get some moves on the board. But then we took all the pawns. And at the end, I was probably like... it only took me 52 moves. Finally got a decent position. But yeah, as I said, I'm literally only gonna beat a good known to be good player like Kaydanov by just being like equal in flagging at the end, or maybe worse in flagging at the end. Because I'm gonna be slower than him throughout the game. My only edge is the pure time scramble, where the quality of the moves doesn't matter that much. Like here, if I play like this, like it doesn't make much of a difference. So I will be faster than him here. That's it. So I feel like we only won this game because we were able to transform the game into the one situation where I might have an edge. over him. This sucks for black that this pawn's on a4. He's trying. At some point, you have to try g4. Yeah, but okay, takes. Now he's going to bring the king back around to f4. I respect the attempt because now you can try to go underneath. This is exactly what I would do. Definitely respect the attempt here. Check. Yeah. Underneath. And then this would be definitely a mistake. Okay, so now white found this, unfortunately, which is super annoying. Ooh, I don't know about c4. That's too many pawns on light squares now, I would say. Yeah, now I would play this. Yep. Exactly right. Now, white truly has no issues here. Look at this. Look at this. I think white just needed to play bishop a4 and could have done something. I mean, you don't even have necessarily a draw there. Probably have to try this. For white, everything's defended, so I think it's more likely that white wins this game now because anyone can make a bunch of king moves. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's got the win now. So I would have lost this game in the exact way that black lost this game. I promise you that. More checks. Yeah, the bishop's covering now, so white can just dance around. Thanks, JMC. Good to see you again, Canadian rock fan. King there, and we have king here. Still some hope. Queen here. Oh my goodness. Oh, Queen H8 should have been a draw, right? Maybe he's still playing for the win, surely. Ooh, I think King D4 previously would have been good. He let the pawn get way up the board. Damn. So I think in this situation, you go king b6, queen takes, king a6, and then promote is a stalemate. I don't think you give up on this position yet. Shame. Especially because you know that the lower rated player in that case is so excited to trade queens and like pre-move promote so they don't flag. Like, I think actually there's a very, 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 very high likelihood of a draw. I'm feeling a little bit lazy, but I don't even see like a way I can just kind of vacuum all the pieces off the board. But let's try this for now. So queen e3 I would play, or I would want to play, and then I think I'll play knight h5. Okay, yeah, that move makes sense. Obviously, we're going to take. And yeah, this is the kind of position that I was talking about. I think he got a better version, so credit to him. But yeah, lazy as in like, I'll lose this pawn and play king e7 and might still have a chance in an endgame there. So let's do it. I mean, obviously you have to take. He's definitely going to be trying to play this move. So knight here, I think we'll play that. I know I'm down a pawn here, but believe me, I'm still fighting. I'm still fighting. We're going to see knight there. Play this. Nothing I can do if he plays it well. But if he doesn't, I think there's still quite a lot on the table to play for. Yes, down a pawn and well, we'll see if the knights get traded. I was going to say same color bishop endgame, but I don't think there's any proof or guarantee that's going to happen. Just covering e5, trying to start playing on the dark squares. To be honest, I think taking here is quite a fine move, and then playing king e5 and f6. Yeah, I kind of like that. I can play like f6. He's most likely going to try to bring the king there. But I can maybe even play this. Okay, because rook h2, it's very clear what he wants to do. I think this is going to be all right here. We have to let that happen. Rook g1, I'll just play f6, I think. Rook d2 is the move there. Ah, rook's on the wrong side. I kind of lost interest as soon as I realized I made it a draw. Really happy with the game. It's a sad way to go out, but yeah, really happy. This was a terrible move. We just need to play rook d2 and the game ends on the spot, so that's a lot unfortunate. But yeah, I mean, we just played like pretty much perfectly. And he made all the mistakes that I was expecting him to make. I don't know. Weaker players just don't, like, he's up a pawn, but I have this very clear like dark square concept, so I actually think I'm playing for a win here. He did everything like as predicted. We managed to outplay down a pawn. I think I did a poor job at this point, but yeah, rook d2. That's probably the only move I really regret, because even here, like, I should probably win the end game, but I didn't do a great job here. And I think overall the end game should be winning. Oh, rook h4 is mate in one. Didn't even see that. So we go from mate in one to losing. Okay, yeah, didn't even consider that. But at that point, I think I was already like, things had been messed up so much that my head wasn't exactly in it. Oh, we're still on emotes here. Yeah, that's a shame. We don't get the result, but we basically get to see someone get, like, an IM get completely outplayed up a pawn, because that's kind of what I meant when I said I was lazy earlier. Lazy because I know that I've played this type of position before where I give up this pawn, and honestly, I have decent success here. I don't think the position is that bad. And yeah, we just had the same success. Pawns all on dark squares. He ends up just blundering this. Too bad. All right, I think there's a break. Be right back. All right, surely we're close to our next punishment round. It's such a shame. I've been playing pretty decent. Had that game against Terry Renato that just outplayed me in a time scramble, but okay, 50-50. Played well. Then the last game there, I outplayed him from that pawn down position, kind of as I called it. Everything that happened, I was like, this was gonna happen. It happened, and I still lost it on time at the end. But I don't know. I don't feel like I'm playing that bad. We had some other bad game right after the Terry game, which I also didn't like. Miha, thanks for the 44 months. And ABD? Mr. Bus Driver? 50 subs from ABD? September subs from the bus driver. Go ham. I get it. Go ham. Get it? Ham like me, but also go ham. 10 per win from ABD. If the maths. Thank you kindly, Airbus driver. Okay, we might... that could have been good vibes from ABD. This guy's not here now. Yep. Yeah, 10 more on top of that, Airbus driver, for the flag right here. Yep, make sure to tabulate that. Yep, Big 10 coming up. Airbus driver, I've been listening to... So obviously we have our Thomas Lazara, but I've been listening to a new one of his, which you've probably heard, but what is it? It's, let me put it on. It's called Klein aber Fein Open Air 2023. And it's been a good listen. Let's put it back on. Yeah, I was listening to it a lot yesterday. It auto-played after, obviously, I played our usual, and it was quite good. So, I've been running it. Yeah, we got to keep up with Thomas. I think we got to keep up with Thomas. The thing is, with plus 1 second increment, all he needs to do is show up for one move here. Just one move, and then the game's on. This is my current favorite game in Title Tuesday. Best experience, everything positive about this. We need to have more of this in Title Tuesday. More of this. All right. Had to make sure you guys were in emote only for that. Had to make sure you were in emote only. Didn't want any move suggestions there to jeopardize the great performance. Thank you very much. Nice Kyo from me. Thank you to ABD for 10 more. On top of that, Airbus driver, you see that you brought the good vibes. All of a sudden, I mean, that's never happened. We can only attribute it to the ABD presence. This is Chicken Wing. Thanks for the 34 months with Prime. And Language Lobster, thanks for 51. Also using the one and only Twitch Prime. That line is included in the course. Hella, it is. Sometimes your opponents might continue down the variation, but obviously it can just end right there. d4 1-0. Bishop e4 is quite a good move here. Polarizing, no, I don't at the moment, sorry. Here, it threatens that. So I think you kind of have to take it, yeah. As white, honestly, you could go here and force maybe the draw to happen. But yeah, I think you got to take. E5 knight there could be tried, but A7's loose. There's definitely some trickiness here. Rook takes here. Rook A1, rook takes. Looks fine for black. Probably rook F6. All right, rook F6, knight takes, so. Bishop here. He wants rook here and rook E8. Bishop E4. Bishop takes. I could see that happening. Damn, C3 is a tricky move. I wouldn't have expected it. You can see how far behind I am. Is Hans going to get the win here? Ooh, C4, C5. Super tricky. Playing on the time. So smart. Oh, but you can't expect that to work. Knight B6. Wow. And he's just barely hanging on here. Rook takes. There's rook takes B6. He doesn't have a move. Knight D7 he should be playing. Oh, and he gets the win. Such good pressure applied by Hans there. Like, I would also easily lose that game. That's the thing. When you're playing a strong player, like, they're going to find a way to maximize and make use of the time advantage. Can Terry survive? It looks like a position that's more annoying to play for white, but that could be wrong. Yeah, the rook can block on G2 now. Oh, knight there. Got to give a check. But yeah, it has to be losing here. Okay, let's see here. Any interesting games? Yeah, come on, Terry. I'm fighting for top spots here. Gonna need you to not ruin my tie breaks like that. I'm not ruining his tie breaks. He's ruining mine. Ooh, I don't know about this. Black can easily win this. The bishop cannot defend both of these pawns at once, so I think you got to go C7 followed by A5 here. I'm assuming white's gonna lose this game. Yeah, what the hell? Don't pre-move that. Oh, he's probably gonna go there. What? Gotta play king C7 there. What the hell? That's crazy. And white doesn't take the pawn. Oh my goodness. C2, there's no check. It's C2. Holy smokes, what a game. I don't know what happened there. All right, we got our famous endgame. Are we going to see a win with it? They've had this position like 10 times. It's exact same position over and over. This is quite possibly the worst attempt at progress we've ever seen in an endgame in this endgame before. 69 months from force a draw. He made it. Nice resub. Thank you, force a draw. And thanks for using Prime. That's what really matters here. Make sure to say that loud and proud. Exclamation mark Prime. Cheers, Fad. All right, let's see. Let's see if we're actually going to get a first move here. Yeah, honestly, that's fair, ABD. Who are we to judge? One of those guys could be streaming, and Airbus Driver 322 could be in his chat in a parallel universe saying, you know what? If you make it 50 moves, I'll give you 1 sub per move from now on. So how are we going to sit here and judge? Yes, Poing operator. Definitely want to bring a rook to e1. So this move takes. Where does this knight go? Knight b4. We have queen b3. Knight b8 seems most likely. We could take, but there's a pin on the d pawn. c6 will be played. It's hard for me to understand how good that will be. So let's play this move first. Okay, he's kind of playing some very slow moves as well. Let's do this. I think it prepares this better. And I also have this idea of queen a3, which seems like it could be something. Still, if he goes there, I'm pretty happy. If he takes, I think I'm also pretty happy. Okay, that might be one slow move too many. I think is it finally time? Either I'm playing queen a3, just a decent move, or it's finally time for this. Knight will go to b8. Takes. Are we happy enough with that? e4? I think we are. c6, I think planning bishop c4. Any kind of f5 would just immediately take. We're very interested in opening the e file. And now I want to flip to the c file because if he plays a move like knight d7, I think the c pawn is at risk. Bishop e6, probably rook d1, we'll see. We should be a little bit better. Should be a little bit better. Okay, so he's hanging f7, which means he must be trying to play knight c5. Otherwise, I really don't get it. Okay, knight c5, but I'm not sure I understand. Queen anywhere? Queen c4? Seems all right to me. Bishop takes h3. You could also do this one, but yeah, bishop h3 seems more likely. So we could take. Rook c1 also looks like a nice move to throw in, but let's say we take. Queen g5 kind of looks like a problem. This looks like a nice move to start with. Because if the knight goes here, we could just take. So the knight will have to go there. Yeah, but still, we're kind of in the same boat. Definitely messy. Maybe rook a3 and knight e5. I don't mind that. Let's go rook a3. Looks nice and defensive. And bishop here will play knight takes e5. Yeah, I like that. This rook feels very, very, very useful in the third rank here. Wow. Okay, so I think we just go here because this is protected. Covering this check, so our king is going to be super safe there. I like the queen there. Rook c7. Let's check. Damn, this looks like a potential swindle. Wow, G7 is such a sick move. And then bishop G3 for checkmate. Nasty. Yeah, I agree actually, Penny. That rook A3 was an underrated move. Rook A3 guarding the knight and just being so like flexible and useful on the third rank. I think that was a hero move. The Quadro, kids are enjoying the checkmate course and you're learning stuff that you thought you knew. I appreciate that. Thanks for saying so. It's the first course I made, and it's definitely at a lower price point than the London system. It's just a different type of course. I think it's quite unique. Nothing like it out there, and pretty useful. So I'm glad you've gleaned some knowledge from it. Airbus driver. Yep, another 10. Wow. ABD, thank you very much. Kramnik, by the way, is at 9 out of 10. Is Kramnik going to play Hans? A couple buddies. He's at 9 out of 10. Kramnik could win Title Tuesday here. Kramnik only had 2 draws. Probably those people were cheating, though, so maybe he'll get them refunded. Kramnik undefeated. Hickey at 8.5. Honestly, this looks like a much weaker Title Tuesday. I'm not sure what's missing, but, like, yeah, I'm looking at the guys at the top, and it's not, like, the very, very strong players. People are still like detoxing from the Olympiad, I think. Yeah, I just looked at that one, Spenny. It was a very, very sick checkmate idea. Okay. Actually, really interesting to play someone at the exact rating that I'm at. That feels unusual, right? Feels like in Title Tuesday, you almost never play your, like, I don't know, your rating peer. I don't know. Just getting used to it. I feel like most of the time you play up or you play down. And I think, I'm trying to remember, but I think Paulina played in that like chess.com event, whatever it is. She played in like women's speeches championship, went to the final, but she also played previously in that I am not a GM thing, I think, and she did super well. Anyway, she's fucking strong. I guess we gotta go here. I'm gonna play knight d7, castle. Would definitely not be surprised by this move. Okay, yeah, it's gonna be this. Bishop here, a6, bishop c6, takes, knight b8 to remove that annoying knight maybe. We may also see this. Bishop f4 perhaps. But there is knight d5 to deal with. Takes, obviously we'll take with the knight so we can still castle. This unfortunately looks like a move that I don't want to see. Just looks like one of them good moves. I'm not in the business of dealing with good moves. Let's castle. I think we need to play a5 here. Bishop a3, we'll play rook e8. I don't love playing a5, but it is what it is. Okay, now I think we're ready to get a knight in. h6 at some point will be useful. g6 is probably not the escape square I want, but hang on a sec. f4. Why do I get the feeling that this almost wins a pawn? Or it forces bishop b2, I think. It's feeling like a good move to me, knight e4. Is knight d5 just a better version of that? Also hard to tell. Kind of feels like it. Okay, one of those two moves will be very good, I think. Knight d5, both of them attack the pawn, and if the pawn pushes, both of them have a knight fork available, whether it's d5 or e4, to hit the rook and hit the pawn, which I think should be very good for me. So no matter which one I do, bishop f3 could be played to pin it, but then I just move my rook. Exact same threats exist. Or bishop here, and then do I want the knight on d5, or do I want the knight on... It's hard to say. I'm going to go for this one. Bishop f3, I'll go rook b8. Just protect the bishop and renew the threat. And I mean, if you have to play bishop takes, I'm super happy, I think. And this, I have knight e3 as far as I can see. Okay. Rook e1, knight c2, so you have to go there. Now, if I take, the rook will take, definitely, because I cannot get away with that. But I still think this is what we want. Put the knight on c4. And now, if we go here, there might be f5. So I'm going to play a move that is not going to make a lot of sense at first. Maybe it's not going to make sense because it's not good. But I'm going to play f5 because I'm going to get some really nice squares. Definitely I have e4 for my knight. So even if knight b2 happens and she gets c4 going, at least I'll have a square there. Okay, now if knight there, maybe even knight a3 works. So let's do this. I don't think I care about this. We have c6 always. Knight there. We for sure have to take this, don't we? Damn. I suppose I could play this, but that's not really part of the plan. That was not the best. Because, like, yeah, bishop kind of opens up here. I have to put the knight in. But okay, I still like the knight. Like, let's be clear. Knight has to be okay here. It's just, I would rather have the knight here, have some control. I think what I might want to do is play c6 and b5. Another move that I would put in the, like, very strong move category, g4. It's super annoying. Fuck's sakes. Because I have to react to it again. I do not like taking. Knight is destabilized on e4. Okay, finally have a moment here. If I go here, it's going to be this plus this. So let's go here maybe. Try to hit the pawn to dissuade c4. And I think c6 and b5 next. Oh, it's so close. I don't know if I should be doing that or not. It's a tough choice. I think this was the safer one, but I can see a world where my king gets in here. This was the bait that my opponent wanted me to fall into, I think. Yeah. Rook b7 maybe. Try to make some checkmating threats. Have to stop that. Okay. Surely there's some mate threats here that are pretty significant. I felt like I was in good control here. Oh yeah, I was really happy here. I thought I was like feeling the position. And then here, definitely my move f5, although good in spirit, I think is wrong in principle just because of this 95 idea. 95 hurt. I didn't want to allow. I still think I'm better here, so I'm happy with the position, but I didn't want to allow this. I was really happy with how I traded the light squared bishops. Good chess principles. If you have bishop knight, your opponent has bishop bishop, trade the bishops that are on the same color. That'll always be the best plan in the position. And here, this was by far the safer move. But I was just so addicted to like this idea. But okay, I was surprised that e6 wasn't played, but I understand it didn't work because of knight d2. But I only noticed that directly after. And then here, we're definitely worse. I was very lucky that rook d3 wasn't played because I'm just lost after that as far as I can see. But then once I got the rook here and I could stop d5 and then go for my own h6, I actually felt kind of good here. And then this was just messy. Rook g7, I think, was a very good move to threaten this. Anyway, it's just a time scramble at that point. But if I'm being honest, happy with the whole game except for here. Just I should take the other way. The rook can't get in. Keep better control over this. And we're going to do fine here. So, not a bad game. I'll take it. I'll take it. An ABD. We'll take an 8 out of 11. Chess Ninja reporting in from ESPN. They're also covering the event, of course, following day in the life of a high-performing Title Tuesday player. We end up scoring 8 with, I guess we just put a bunch of wins together at the end, but it doesn't feel like a very good tournament because, well, I didn't play, the only GM I played was Kaidanov, right? Who's like 2600 blitz. So it's definitely not a very impressive pairing or impressive win. So really, I didn't play a single GM this event. I played a good player, like Paulina's a good player, but okay, I am 2800. I played Terry, who's 3000. Don't get me wrong, very tough pairing, but still not a GM. So interesting that I managed to somehow play the whole tournament and not play a single GM. I played Kaidanov, but that's it. And he is 2600 blitz, so in this, the scheme of like GMs, obviously it's a pairing I'm supposed to be favored in. Oh yeah, we got to check on Kramnik, right? He won, I think. So that's very funny. Kramnik beat Bortnik, and it means that him and Hans will share first place. I think he couldn't be happier. Him and his buddy Hans. They literally are sharing first place, tied right now. But I guess Hans is going to win on tiebreak. Yeah. But I'm sure that's like his dream. That's very funny. Hans and Kramnik. And then Bortnik after that. Bortnik lost to Kramnik. So Bortnik came third, losing the last round, which means he was on a very, very good performance. I mean, look at his tiebreak as well. Hans and Kramnik. Two similar guys. Hickey was number 8. I mean, obviously 9 out of 11. For Hikaru, is not necessarily a bad tournament, but maybe for him it is, his standards. I don't know. Something about this tournament felt, it was like much weaker than another one. Didn't see Magnus, didn't see like Firouzja. Didn't see too many of the super, super strong Indian GMs in here. Just felt like there were some people missing. Very strong no matter what, but I feel like it's strong every week. It's just whether or not it's extra strong, and this one did not feel like it. Yeah, exactly, Hella. That's what I was saying. Like, they're still detoxing from the Olympiad dub. We take those. Yep. And remember, Johnny, have to round up here. We came 36th, probably the worst tie breaks in the 8 group. It's me and like some CMs just chilling here. But naturally, ESPN front page tied for 21st, top 25. ESPN top 25. Top 36, under 36. Hambo makes the list. Forbes 36 under 36. Thanks, Airbus driver. If I'm not mistaken, ABD, did we not remain undefeated under your, shall we say, surveillance, tutelage? Bartrix87, thanks for the raid. Get a proper shout out there. They were last playing no game. What the fuck is no game? What's no game? How do you play it? They don't even say just chatting anymore. It's just no game. It's true, Baz. He's walking that walk as well. Hey, tied for first in Title Tuesday is no joke. Editor of your papers on Times top 100 people of the year. Who is it, Johnny? If you can share. It's interesting. I was actually just looking at that list. Are they under like which category are they in? Scientist? Innovator, maybe? Pioneer? Let me see. Oh, yeah. Pioneer. Pioneers. Damn, that's very cool. Oh, yeah. I see. Go astronomy. Go, Johnny. That's very cool, Johnny. Exciting. I was actually just looking at the list, so the fact that you bring that up is good timing. GG, yo. Okay, so we finished with a 8-point score. We'll take that, surpassing the anticipated result from the haters. You know, there's a big contingent of them. They're in the tens of 20s. But yep, we'll round that up. Top 25 performance, we take those. Undefeated in front of ABD. I think that's what really matters. Oh yeah, I think the set gets pretty nice here, Airbus driver. Very bouncy. Think Johnny, I can see Johnny DJ definitely bobbing a little bit. Boiler Room Denver. Who's there? There's also a big Boris set this Friday, Johnny, which the boys will be attending. Hyper keen. Big Boris in Toronto. That's Maniac. Thank you very much. You were definitely informed, ABD. Whoa. This was something talked about months ago. I know for a fact you were informed. I know for a fact you were informed because you said something to the effect of like, you know, not let me check my schedule, but something like that. It was like a, let me see what the schedule permits or something. I'm sure this time. Thanks very much, Bazmaniac. 5 subs. It's true, Twink Time. It's come full circle. That's right, ABD. This Friday. Very bouncy. I feel like you and I talked about this. So we've known for a couple months. I'm telling you, it would rival and surpass our bouncy Toronto night. Boris, Airbus driver. We're talking about Boris here. It looks like, let me see. You can definitely still get tickets. I just checked. They're still available. Yep. Boris, Toronto this Friday. You should be able to find the event. But keep us appraised, ABD, because yep, we'll definitely be there and bobbing. I've never seen, maybe some others have seen Boris before. I haven't, Boris Breakfast, and we listen to him a lot on stream, so I'm definitely very excited. Yeah, I was gonna say I know you have seen him, but a testament to how good he is if you're looking to put a silver transport package together. What happened in TT? Damn, is that the entry? I feel like I've set the title Tuesday like scores so low. The bar is so low that people come in like, you know, LMFAO. What'd you score this time? 4? Like, all right, yeah, tell us how to go. Huh? What's the best pasta? Copy. I'm enjoying this middle part of the set here. Exactly, Johnny. Condolences in advance. You know, we know that these condolences are going to be well placed. If not now, for next week. It'll be in advance of something. How did I do? I got 8 points. A good score for me. I only played one GM, and he was 200 points lower rated than me, so you could say I had a easier run up to an 8-point score than usual. But I've also played weaker players, and then I just don't score 8 points. So I mean, I can't win. If I'm gonna have like a weaker run in Title Tuesday, I better at least get some points for it. So we did the best we could with the hand we were dealt. So we'll take an 8. We'll take an 8, and I'll take a break. Union approved. Small food break after Title Tuesday. I'm just running on coffee right now, so I'll be right back. But I'm happy with 8. Off to a good start. And we'll be streaming for the rest of the day here. Thanks so much again to Airbus Driver and Baz. Big Title Tuesday.